Jokes by Booth the Sunhouse. Audiobook narrated by Ureni Valath. "How is your wife?" asked Zelitha. "She's in bed with laryngitis," replied Harlith. "Is that Argonian bastard back in town again?" "I keep seeing spots before my eyes." "Have you seen a healer?" "No, just spots." A big Nord named Yulgan was set on by a gang of thieves. He fought them furiously, but in the end they beat him into semi-consciousness. They searched his pockets and discovered that he only had 3 gold pieces on him. "Do you mean to tell us you fought us like a mad loop for 3 lousy gold pieces?" sneered one of the thieves. "No," answered Yulgan. "I was afraid you were after the 400 gold pieces in my boot." During the War of Bethany, the Bretons in the Isle of Craghold were under siege for several days. After the island was liberated, Lord Bridwell found the ruins of the castle, where the crowd of survivors had hidden away in the dark. It was going to be a difficult job freeing them, as part of the roof had collapsed, trapping them all within. Bridwell stuck his head in the only opening and shouted to the Bretons below, "Are there any expectant mothers down there?" "It's hard to say, your lordship," said a young woman. "We've only been down here a few days." An elderly Breton met with a contemporary of his at a guild meeting. "Harriston, old man, I wanted to express my sympathy. I hear that you buried your wife last week." "I had to, old boy," replied Harriston. "Dead, you know." Why was the Sentinel Army so useless during the War of Bethany? The cannons were too heavy, so all 3 garbage scows sunk. What does a new Sentinel private learn first as a combat technique? How to retreat. What is the thinnest book in the world? Redguard Heroes of the War of Bethany. A dark elf man killed his wife after catching her mating in love with another man. When the magistrate asked him why he killed her instead of her lover, the man replied, "I considered it better to kill one woman than a different man every week." A dark elf woman was being shown around Daggerfall. When she was shown the magnificent castle of Daggerfall, she smiled sweetly to her guide and whispered, "It reminds me of sex." "That's odd," said her guide. "Why does our castle Daggerfall remind you of sex?" The dark elf sighed. "Everything does." Yelitha told Vathsai that she was having dinner with a dark elf named Morleth that night. "I hear he's an animal," said Vathsai. "He'll rip the dress right off you." "Thank you for telling me," said Yelitha. "I'll be sure to wear an old dress." How do you separate sailors in the Khajiiti Navy? With a hammer and tongs. "This orchid has sentimental value to me," said Mohad the Khajiit to his friend Halisid. "Under that tree, for example, is where I first made love. And that tree is where her mother stood, watching us." "She watched you while you made love to her daughter?" said Halisid, clearly impressed. "Did she say something?" "Meow." What do you call a wood elf who doesn't lie, or cheat, or steal? A dead wood elf.